How are you, folks? Yes, it was tough. Feels like the same story as last year. Um, but it was a great Cheltenham. So, me and the Big Bandit, on reflection, I hate to say it, shoulda, woulda, coulda, but it was shoulda, woulda, coulda. Exactly the same as last year. And I think walking off the course every day, listening to people saying they've not had a winner and this and that, by doing what we do, we sort of enabled ourselves to have. We had a good bet every day. We put on between us 300 quid a day, just because we then wanted a good accumulator and each way accumulator. And we finished the week. You can see a £744 up each. If I was to remove the bets we did on the day, which was 1,200 quid between us, and we got about a little bit back, the actual profit from all this banditing, the anti-poor side, was just shy of 2 grand. Which, given we do this day in, day out, every day I wake up half an hour banditing in the morning, logging in, logging out, it's a bloody hard slog. But it shows how hard Cheltenham is. And yeah, I smoked the cigar beforehand. I have come out up every year. Um, Probably need to wane the enthusiasm because I thought we was on for 10 grand plus easy. Same as last year, but just the right horses with the right. You have your main horses, and it's just being lucky to have like the Morn Rambler and King Rasco in the right. I had them with other horses what lost like Lalamba and Kopek, and if I'd have had it with Woodoo and Lossie instead, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But the good news is it shows what we do. We enjoy that week. We go, we have a good bet, and we've come out up. How many people can have a good bet every day and be £744 each up at the end of the week? So would I class it as a success? Yeah. Would I do it again? I've already started. The going gets tough. You got to get going. No use moping about and not doing this anymore. We've been in profit. Just shy of 2 grand this year. Last year we were 2.5 grand, and the year before 7.5. Off the top of my head, those last 3 years. So we know it's working. And what I'd say is, it's all the sweats we've had. I mean, I'll unhide some of these, but this was the race on the final day, and these were the sweats we had. We'd actually, let me unhide these because there's a lot of proactive and stuff from the last day. So all this gave us these sweats. We didn't need a bet. You look at Gold Cup, we'd 1,100 quid back if I know the way won. 762 if Jukebox won. Just typical, that one won money. Mer's Chase was profitable for us. We got 551 quid back off Dino Blue. Spindle Brew was actually a better horse because we had a load of national bets going, but we've still a sweat going for the national. We want Iroko for 1,600 quid. So this could still improve because, this 1944 we started weaving the national in. So we've, 650 I am Maximus, 250 Mr. Van Gogh, 500 IT. You look at the top 3 or 4 in the betting there. So yeah, I'd mark it as a success. We were just hitting the post quite a lot. The that was money on the nose, but the bets with them was unbelievable. Hit the post, look, Gaelic for the Ryanair, just in the wrong race. Factor 5 got pulled out. The sweats we had on the stage. Look at that, Ballyburn, massive sweat, came second. I think it wins it next year, by the way. Some races were profitable for us and give us other bets on other horses as well. But that was the big one. We'd sort of 2,420 quid going on Proactive, and the horse what won, Proactive beat with 6 lengths. The only race it's had before that horse. So it's like, God, everything seemed to sort of hit the post. But we'd interest in every race. That Joyous, somehow we had one bet, a double. I think it was Supremely West or Madara and Joyous. Like, sometimes you get lucky. Hardly back Joyous, hardly back Madara, but the one bet I did, we had them together with £1,265 sweat on juice. So yeah, not what I wanted. I was going into this festival thinking this is our year for a big win, and to be disappointed to be up, that shows you're doing something right. If I can keep being disappointed at being up, well, at least I'm up. That shows you're doing something right when you're disappointed to be up. So, um, yeah, we ended up with just short of 8 grand on, probably a bit more we put on the day. Mr. N actually, he got, if you classed his win on Jukebox Man, well, actually, we'd 194 in the bank from Jukebox Man, so that figure's a little bit better actually with the King George. But Mr. N got 30 quid off Jukebox Man, and he got 45 at the festival. So he ended up, nice £75 in the back pocket of Mr. N, which, it buys a few tea bags and biscuits, does that. He likes a brew, does Mr. N, and £75 for doing nothing. And he's had some sweats as well for some big money, I tell you. All my winnings were on the missus account or Mr. N's. So that's it. That's close the book. You'll get an honest thing from us. None of this glow. It's quite a small profit, really. So yeah, that's where we finished. Onwards and upwards. One thing I think I'm learning, and we've learned every year in the Big Bandit, was we need to do doubles, forget the trebles and the yanks. And it's always nice to do a few yanks. So we've tapered them down. We've definitely tapered down the trebles to doubles. But I'm thinking more singles. In the first 3 months between now and July, the odds Gaelic for the Gold Cup 4-1, it'll be 2-1 in July, August. So Big Bandit's still keeping his own tactic, but I'm going to be going more on the nose because I looked at the sweats we had going, a few £100 every race. Well, even now, week 1, I've got £278 if Ballyburn wins the Stayers. So I'm putting my 3 bets. It's 9-10-1 in places at the minute. So that's how I'm King George. We've got a bit of money going as well. So we're going to do a lot more singles at the start. Because you could say, well, if that horse doesn't run, you've lost that. But I would have done all them Ballyburn bets with another horse. Your risk is double because Ballyburn could win, and you've £300 on the thing, but you've not because you've got loads of doubles. You could end up with nothing on it. So I'm looking at £300 on a 9-1. Bloody hell, that's going to be a cracking win. So I think again learned a lesson that there's going to be a lot more. You look at this so far, all these singles here. There's going to be a lot more singles, especially in the early part of the year. And I'll carry that on when the handicaps come out. I'll be doing singles on those, and I'll be doing singles on the Supreme in November when the new horses come out. So, had a good win actually because of Smoking Steve. Had £10 on the nose at 25-1 on King Rascal Grey, so that brought us in a tidy. In fact, let me just go back to the sheet. I'll show you some of the bets that went in. Tidy bet, the £10 double, Woodoo, Dino, Blue. Let's just scroll in. Look at all the other Woodoo bets, 5-1. What lost? Even if you had them two as a single, it's another £100 there. Another 5 of there. So there's another 5 of there. So I just looked and thought, there's a different way. With a few cracking bets, we hardly, and this is where sometimes your luck comes in. This final orders, we hardly back the thing, but somehow we had it in a double with Ilite for £200. We had it in a double with Wadu for 146. We ended up winning. I think them's the only bets we did on this final orders. So sometimes your luck goes for you. You can look at it 2 ways, can't you? Let's have a little look. Yeah, then we had another bet. £2, Madara Saratoga for 94. Let's have a look at some of the others what came in. Another bet there, Lossiemouth Dino Blue for £100. Factor 5. Oh, God, don't get me started. This King Rascal loot just with bloody Bambino for 165 twice. Some nice bets to look at that. Jukebox Manny Rocco, that's a tiny bet, £1.80. Turn 642. But look at that. Her entitlement for the wrong race with Old Park Star at 14s. Just little things, what just, there's so much. That was a win for 98 quid though. But I look and think, God, if I'd have had more Rambler in a Yank with King Rascal at 25s and Jukebox Man and maybe Supreme of the West, bloody hell. It's just when you do, we will still do a load of Yanks this year. I'm just going to, in the early part, do a lot of singles on those main races where Ballyburn's going to go for the stayers. Going to change tact a little, but yeah, big shout out to Steve at Smoking Cheltenham. Had a few bets, £10 on the nose on King Rascal. All the horses added doubles. 25's ducked, which didn't help me. But yeah, big shout out to Steve. Mom Rambler and King Rascal we got from listening to Steve at Smoking Cheltenham. There was that Joyous Sweat Luke, Supreme of the West for 1165 with Joyous. Okay, back Joyous twice, that was it. Yeah, so close on a lot of things. Anyway, like I say, it's only a quick episode, just giving you an update around initial thoughts. Like these 4 horses for the King George. Don't think you're going to do fair wrong if you have those 4 in. Ballyburn, I'm hammering because I think it's going for that race. Not quite sure where the Lamber's going to end up. Where Old Park is. I've got a feeling this Mighty Park might be like Final Demand was this year for the Browns. It's a big horse, isn't it? But yeah, we'll do a few updates as we go on. We certainly will. But yeah, like I say, I'm a little bit more somber. I think I've been doing this long enough now. I might be less excitable this year, trying to be as realistic as we can on singles and because you've experienced realising you sit there on the day and you've had all these bets all year and you look at the day's race and you think, God, there's only 3 races where we've got any horses. You look at the field in these other races, God, I've not got anything in the field, So it's such big fields, such difficult racing. But yeah, the tough get going. We're getting going with new strategies and we're hungrier than ever for it. We know it's working each year. We've 90 quid on already, probably a bit more. I've not put some bets in from the last couple of days, so probably over 100 quid on already on the 18th of March. We're going to have it. We're going to go for it. We're going to have it. I just think the early part of the season, that Ballyburn will be 4-1 come November, 3-1 for the stayers. That's the lesson I'm taking from it. But yeah, it's been great listening to Smoking Cheltenham this year. It's been great listening to Mark at Cheltenham Chat. John and Janine, and I actually bumped into both Johnny and Jennings at the festival. Jennings denied all knowledge of the Bandits show or Smoking Cheltenham, but I told him to get listening to those kind of shows. But yeah, at risk of falling asleep here, I'll leave it at that. As always, spread bet responsibly with the bookies bones and get on it with the Cheltenham Bandit.